Hello friends! Today I'm going to give you some tips if you are going into college next year, or maybe you're in college right now or you're going to college in a few years. These are tips that you can use when you're in college and you don't know what to expect maybe, or you just want some advice. I wrote down a list of stuff that I have accumulated from my first semester, because right now I'm in the first week of my second semester of college, so I'm basically telling you what I learned in my first semester. Number one, don't expect to find best friends in the first week of college, first month of college, or even in the first semester maybe. I know some people do, and that's really good for them, and it's great if you do, but don't expect that, because you've been friends with the same people probably for a long time in high school and before that, and you're just really used to them probably, and it might have been really easy to find them because you're just around them all the time, and you're really good friends with them now. But when you get to college, there's just so many people and so many different personalities that you meet. It might be hard to find someone similar to your old friends, so it's okay if you don't feel like you have the best friend group in the first few weeks or months or whatever, because you'll probably end up finding somebody. It just may take time. Number two, which will help with number one, is if you join a club or an organization on campus. Personally, I'm in the marching band in the color guard, and that really helped me to find friends, because I did color guard in high school also, and that also helped me to find friends, so I figured I would continue in college because I like it. So yeah, basically a lot of the friends that I have now that I consider my closest friends in college are in the color guard, so I'm really happy that I did that, and I would definitely suggest joining a club or something if you feel like it might be hard for you to make friends, or you just want people around you that like the same stuff as you. That's a really good idea. Number three is to keep your dorm or apartment organized so that you're more productive. This one is a huge one for me, and it totally works. Whenever I would go home last semester, for Thanksgiving break or whatever, I just felt so lazy when I was at home, because my bedroom at home was not that clean, or it just reminded me of high school and everything when I procrastinated and stuff. But coming to a new environment and being able to start fresh and be organized all the time is so beneficial to your productivity. Every time I came back here, I would just get to work all the time. It's so much easier for me. I don't know, especially if it's clean and stuff. So yeah, definitely try to be organized. Number four, which also has to do with coming to a new environment, is start new routines when you come to college, because they'll be a lot easier to keep up with than if you start in one high school. And it basically coming to a new environment and starting a new chapter in your life helps your mind process the fact that you're starting all these new things. So if you start a new routine along with that, it'll just be easier to keep up with. I don't know, for me at least that worked. So one thing for me is I feel my personal hygiene has gotten better almost. I know it sounds weird, but I just feel a lot healthier now that I'm in college, because keeping up with stuff is just easier for me. I don't know. So definitely try to implement stuff, sort of New Year's resolutions that you might want to improve about yourself, and it'll probably be easier to keep up with. Number five is be yourself, and don't do things just because you think that everyone is doing them. For example, going to parties or drinking at parties. Not everyone goes to parties, and not everyone drinks at those parties, or does either even. Even if it seems like that from shows, movies, or even people you talk to, especially if you go to a big college, there's so many people and so many other things to do besides party and drink and that stuff. You do not have to do that if you don't feel comfortable or anything like that. So yeah, definitely don't try to be somebody else that you think does all these crazy things if you don't want to be that person. Also, part of that, wear whatever clothes make you comfortable and happy all the time in college. I know a lot of people say that in college people just wear like loungy clothes and they don't really dress up as much as they did in high school. But I feel like people just wear like whatever they want and like nobody judges you at all. There's so many people doing their own things and nobody cares what you wear. So for me, like I wear loungy clothes like this sometimes, or I dress up sometimes because that's what I want to do, but you can do whatever you want and no one will judge you. I feel like it's so much different than high school where like you feel like everybody's looking at you all the time in the hallways and stuff. It's not like that at all in college. Nobody cares at all what you wear. Number 6 is don't be afraid to talk to your professors and ask questions if you need help with things. I was really worried about this before college because I watched a lot of videos like this and people would say like, make sure that you talk to your professors and like get a good relationship with them so that you get their grades and all that stuff. And I was like so worried that I would have to like force myself to do that. But it was actually so much easier than I thought because like, I mean, so many professors are just so nice and they like want to help you. So yeah, definitely if you have any questions, just talk to them, and it definitely creates good opportunities for you for the future. Like, for example, my math teacher really helped me determine that I wanted to change my major from elementary education to secondary education in math. So yeah, it like really helps if you talk to your professors and are like more comfortable with them. Number 7, when you pick your classes, make sure you like know what kind of person you are and like what time of the day classes would be best for you personally. So like if you have early classes, that's good because you kind of get them out of the way in the morning. And for me, I feel like that's most similar schedule to high school because you kind of wake up semi-early and then in the afternoon you have it free to do other things, kind of like high school. But the downside of that is you have to wake up a little earlier. And you have midday classes, which is kind of what I'm doing this semester. Then you can sleep in and they're not too late, so you're not like out all night. But the third option would be night classes, which I've never done before, but that's a good option for people who have like jobs during the day, or maybe if you commute and you have a job during the day, you want to take classes at night. So basically just like know what kind of schedule you want when you're picking your classes so that it's not like all over the place and you'll know that it works for you personally. Also in picking your classes, number 8 is look on ratemyprofessor.com to see the professors on there. If you've never heard of it, it's kind of a website where people who've had the professors before go on there and like give the professors ratings and like reviews basically, and it's like really helpful. It's more helpful than the surveys that your college might give you about the professors because I feel like students are like more honest on this website. I don't know, but yeah, definitely do that if you have access to it, like while you're picking your classes and stuff. It might be a little hard because sometimes there's like so many options, so many different times that it's like too hard to look up professors, but definitely do that if you have time to do it because you definitely don't want to end up with like a really bad professor if you can help it, or like a really difficult one, unless you want to challenge yourself. You do you, but yeah, you can definitely look on the website to see what the professors like in advance, which is helpful. Number 9, this one is so important. So I didn't take the placement tests that were available to me because I just didn't feel like taking them, and I used my SAT scores instead. So when I got to Temple in my first semester, I took a math class that was like very easy for me, and it really made me realize that I wanted to switch my major, which I guess was good in the long run. But if I had taken the placement test, I wouldn't have had to take that class at all because it turned out that I should have placed like way higher than that, and I could have just like skipped it probably, I think. I don't know. But the point is, after I switched my major, I had to take the placement test anyway so that I could be placed into that thing. So long story short, take the placement test because sometimes your SAT scores don't accurately reflect like where you should be placed. In my case, that was how it was, but yeah, definitely take them because you'll not regret it. And number 10, the last one, is have an open mind about college and everything that comes with it, especially with people and like relationships and new friendships that you're gonna have. especially if you go to a bigger college or somewhere that you don't live, or like somewhere that's far away from you. There's going to be so many people who are different from you and so many different perspectives and types of people that maybe you've never even like encountered before or been friends with before. But don't ignore them. Like, you can learn something from other people if you just try to interact with them and be friends with them. Also, going along with this, you'll learn things about your current major that maybe you've never even heard of before, or you didn't know was going to be part of your major. I know a lot of people I know who switched majors said that they just didn't even know it was going to be the way that it was, even though they barely took any classes for it, but they definitely knew they didn't want to do it anymore, so they switched majors. That was kind of like that for me, because I wanted to take harder math classes than the math classes that I had taken. So that's how I knew I wanted to switch. But yeah, definitely don't constrain yourself to one certain major just because you think I've been thinking about doing this my whole life, I still have to stick to it. You don't have to stick to it, especially in your first semester. As a freshman, you can change. Even if your advisor says you can't, get a different advisor. That's literally what I did. Yeah, because it's definitely possible after your first semester to switch. Finally, you'll learn a lot more about yourself also, and your independence and your self-sufficiency. I definitely learned more about what I want out of my life, with my major and the kind of friends that I want, the kind of, just everything in college. I've only been here for one semester and I've already learned so much about myself and about life and everything. It's really cool. So yeah. So I hope these tips helped you out or gave you some advice for if you're going into college. If it did help you, make sure you like this video and subscribe so that you can see more videos like this in the future. Bye guys.